Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Sue for the Soul Tarot. So today we're going to get into another reading, and I'm going to continue going through planet ruled readings, I guess you could say, including shadow planets like Rahu and Ketu, or the north and south sides of the moon. Okay, so I will get into this. If you don't know what nakshatras are prominent in your chart, and by prominent I mean either it's really heavy in your chart, perhaps this is your Atmakarka sign, or you have it in your sun, moon, rising. Okay, but if you don't know what nakshatras are prominent in your chart, I do suggest looking up your chart. One of the generators I love using is Vault of the Heavens, and you can check out what your Vedic sidereal chart looks like from there. All right. But yeah, let's dive into our Mars ruled nakshatras, which are Shadabhasha, Svati, and Ardra. Okay. All in the air elements. So let's get into this reading, Spirit. Spirit and guides. Guide me. And the energy of Rahu, please guide me. What's happening in September 2024? September 2024. We have the Magician. Beautiful. Okay. So bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. So I do feel like you are silently trying to manifest something. Okay, whether it be through just intentions and visualizations, or this is maybe even practicing some spell work, or even through prayer. I just feel like you're trying to attract or use the law of attraction to call something in. Also, there's this feeling here of communication as well. Some of you may actually be mediums. Okay. Perhaps you are trying to attune to your own passed down loved ones, or maybe you have a gift for communicating with those that have, passed on to the other side. But yeah, you may have the gift of mediumship here. If not, this is maybe just trying to commune with ancestors and just guidance in general. Trying to listen, tune in to what you feel like you have to do, so you can properly take the action that's needed, that's necessary, that would be most impactful on your journey. Okay, let's see the next card. We have the Emperor. Wow. I do feel like you are very powerful and intelligent. If this isn't physical, this is very spiritual, like your aura is very powerful. Okay. But if you are a feminine energy, this may also apply to your thoughts about a particular masculine. You may be hoping and wishing for an emperor in your life, somebody that is a protector, somebody who is a fighter if needed, somebody who is also very powerful and can make things happen. Somebody that is not afraid to stand up for what they think, what they believe. Somebody with a healthy and strong sense of ego. Okay, so yeah, I feel like you're looking for a warrior if you are a feminine. Somebody you feel like could be your equal. Okay, let's see what else here. Everybody's telling me to keep shuffling. Judgment in the reverse. Bottom of the deck, the Queen of Cups in the reverse. But this is the opposite experience, I feel, of what you've had. So in your experience, maybe you've dealt with, if I dare say it, men that have been abusive towards you, or men that have, wrongly used their sense of physical strength and power over you. And you're more intelligent because, you've had to find out other ways to survive. You've had to utilize your intellect to survive. But again, I feel like for the most part, you haven't maybe had good experiences with men, if you're feminine. So although you may yearn for somebody you feel is your equal, you may just be prepared to go at this alone. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. I know this message is very specific. Perhaps I'm speaking with a particular group of people today, or a specific individual even. A masculine also could be very angry with you, and maybe you're kind of waiting for them to make their move. Okay, we have number 39, Will-o'-the-wisp. I'm gonna move this up a little bit because there we go. So when I think of the word wisp, I do think of this airy quality. And today we are kind of addressing people that have a strong air element, or in a nakshatra that is surrounded by the element of air. So with this, I feel like you are very quick to move. But I feel like you don't want to move. That's the thing. I'm feeling like this fixed energy here. So you may be currently settled in your mind about a particular position or direction you're going to take. And maybe you're waiting for some kind of response from an outside force, whether it be from a person or an event, for you to make your next move. But I really feel like you yearn to settle, to have a place you call home, a place that makes you feel alive and stimulates your curiosity. Also, you may have a pet cat. I know that's random, but you may have a pet cat or just a small pet. This is particularly resonating for you. Give me 1 second here. Sorry guys, I just decided to pull up this live on my laptop so I can kind of see what's going on in the comments here. There we go. But I'm going to read this card, number 39, because I do love the descriptions in the booklet. And I found, since I've been using this deck, that the booklet offers information that, you know, deeply resonate with the person or collective I'm speaking to. So I'm going to read this, and it says, follow the spark of your inspiration. The universe is sending you signs and lighting your way. Pay attention to opportunities and act as you are guided. Here we have a sweet little bioluminescent fairy on the sacred Isle of Avalon. She is holding an enchanted jack-o'-lantern to serve as a guiding light that will navigate you through the mist. Nature and the goddess desire to help you with the object of your inquiry or the central issue at hand. And in fact, they have already been offering you the support. Notice the guidance you're currently receiving. Acknowledge the divine nudges you've already received. One way the universe speaks to you is through authentic desires, the dreams, goals, and wishes that fill you with joy and a sense of expansion. Even if you can't see the whole path, you can still look for your next step. It will be illuminated by the emotion of excitement and the whispered promise of adventure and fun. Furthermore, don't ignore synchronicities. For example, symbols, words, numbers, animals, or animal imagery that you see multiple times in succession are like ethereal lights in the fog, showing you the way. Don't overlook coincidences and unusual opportunities. For example, after you do a love spell, a friend might invite you to a painting class where you meet a handsome new love interest. Or after getting your resume ready for your dream job, you could randomly run into an old friend who, it turns out, knows just the position for you. The will-o'-the-wisp is beckoning you toward a new level of success. Even though this is a positive transition, it may still feel scary because it contains so many unknowns, but rest assured, your guidance is steering you right. Invoke even more divine support, follow the fairy lights, and you will soon find yourself in a beautiful new realm. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I do feel like a lot of you are on the verge of trying to go for some kind of new opportunity or new beginning. Okay, and so maybe you have to hear back from someone or a particular company or industry or person. But I do feel like you have the skill set already. It's like you already have it in the bag is something that I'm hearing. Success, yeah, that's the card. Peppermint, number 20. So I'm hearing bring your A game. If you are naturally a creative person, I would try to color your story or color your work with some kind of personal touch. I have an example. So let's say you're applying for a job, right? And with this application, you decide to, for some reason, print this application using a different colored paper. Not just plain white, but the color purple, for example. Okay. And then you also spray it with a scent of your perfume because it is your personal touch. You think it's cute. There's always a risk factor, right? You're like, oh, well, what if the person I'm turning this into is really judgmental and thinks this is silly and childish, and don't like that you have this type of personality to bring into the field. Well, yes, there is a risk, right? But without risk, there is no reward, potentially. So I feel like with this, it's kind of telling you or encouraging you to do that, to put your personal touch on something or to showcase your uniqueness in some aspect here, okay? And it could be as simple as printing out a different or using a different font, or printing out your resume with like a different colored paper, right? It could be as simple as that. But I feel like this place is actually going to respond positively to that, or at the very least be interested in your efforts, because they think like, oh, well, you know, this person isn't just concerned about making sure that the resume looks right and is aligned to the job, but they're also willing to go above and beyond that and show me that, you know, I have something to add here. Not only am I qualified for the job, but I can do the job better. I can do the job with more thoughtfulness, you know? So yeah. Let's continue to dive in here. I'm going to pull 2 more oracle cards. For Nakshatras in September. Gemini. Also just noticed we do have the Magician card too, so somebody here could have strong Gemini placements in their chart particularly, or perhaps you have Ardra Nakshatra prominently in your chart. But if not, this could just be the mutual energies across all of these Rahu Ruled Nakshatras. So, with this Gemini energy, there's a duality that's being addressed or recognized here. I feel like your duality manifests itself in your intelligence and your intellect. You have the ability to think on your feet. And because of that, you are somebody that is hard to catch, hard to pin down. So let that serve to your benefit towards success. Oh, and we also have 20, which reduces to 2. So again, that duality I feel like is important here. But it's more than that, right? With the number 3, it's utilizing your creativity again, right? Your creativity to kind of fill in the plain spaces. With your version of some form of originality. I also feel like you've planted some kind of seed. You planted some kind of seed. And this kind of feels a little diabolical in that you knew what you were doing. The seed that you planted, it was definitely intentional. And you are expecting the outcome to rule in your favor. And I feel like this has something to do with relationships. Okay, so maybe right now, your person or the person that is on your mind right now, because I feel like you may be dealing with multiple people here. And that's not saying that you're necessarily in a third-party situation yourself, but you may be dealing with somebody that is in a third-party situation currently. And that's what I mean by your person. Anyways, you may have planted some kind of seed, kind of knowing what's going to happen here. Maybe knowing that something is going to fail, something is going to collapse. And you're just kind of waiting maybe for this to happen. You know, in this card, this woman here, depicted as the magician, has one eye closed and one eye open, which I think is really cool. A cool way to represent duality. But I think in a lot of ways that means you're kind of keeping tabs on the situation somehow. So maybe that's through readings such as this one, or maybe you have your own way of retrieving information and being in the know. And even though you may be physically separated from this person, or you may not be involved in the situation at all, you know, you just may be on the outside looking in to a situation, you still have like some kind of view, you know. So I think that's interesting as well. So yeah, I feel like you're waiting for some kind of tower moment to happen, I feel like. Okay. I want to pull one more card here. And this is going to serve as advice, because I feel like for you, there's some kind of diabolical energy that you have, to be honest. It's like you plant seeds or manipulate the situation, for the most part knowing that they're going to be in your favor. Which is really cool, because that is, you know, a manifestation or display of your abilities and your power. But at the same time, maybe this could be tempered with some wisdom. So this is what this deck, or the card that's going to come from this deck, is going to represent. We have creating sacred space that wants to come through. And just know that these are this is a deck that's that has been created to help mediums. So with each description of each card, it's going to be talking about mediumship in some way or form. So again, completely disregard that if that's not you, although I did tap into somebody here that may have the ability to be a medium. Okay. Or to talk or communicate with the other side in some way. Okay, but it says sacred space. And this says, sacred space is simply a way to hold the energy of spirit in an honorable, loving, and gracious manner. This card is a sign that it's time for you to create a sacred space that's unique and personal to you, where you can commune with spirit. Creating sacred space for spirit is a practice honored by mediums and spiritual practitioners from many traditions. Oh my God. Ooh. Calling in the light of spirit to enhance your meditation or sitting in its power can be helpful in creating a safe space for spiritual and mediumship practice. Some people like to burn sage, light candles, play music, and meditate or pray before working with spirit is a way of creating a loving, inviting environment for spiritual connection and communication. Why not create an altar in a special place in your home or office to make that space sacred? Using crystals, spiritual icons, flowers, or spiritual images can enhance the sacredness of the space. By working regularly in the space, it will become more infused with spiritual energy. The most important thing that's needed when creating your sacred space is a loving intention. This can be used wherever you are, anywhere in the world. Okay, anyways. I definitely feel like it's important to smudge your spaces, but not just to literally smudge using, you know, sage, but I feel like this is more than that. This is like making your home or making your room, you know, depending on where you're staying, right? A peaceful place for you to come back to. If you're trying to manifest something, it's really important that your own space has been kind of like neutralized. So it has room to bring in energy, room to bring in that manifestation. So I definitely feel like this is cleansing the space so you can make room for something more. This also may be a sign that you need to clean your home. Maybe your home is way too cluttered. Maybe you've just been so busy lately, you haven't had enough time to clean your own home, to get your things together, to get organized. And I feel like that is another pertinent part of this success, is making sure you are preparing yourself in the best way possible to have success, you know. Also protect yourself, you know, if you're especially somebody that does spell work or something like that, is very important to ask for protection, you know. Or if this is about a person, be very careful at what you're doing, you know. Make sure you are safe. All right, guys. That is the end of this meeting, this reading. If this resonated, please hit the like button and maybe subscribe to my YouTube channel where I will be posting this. Maybe even hit the follow button on my TikTok page. I will be doing another live reading after this. If you guys want to join me there, I welcome you. But if this is where the road ends for us today, I hope we cross paths another time. All right, bye guys.